Hi, welcome to Hatsumode, the board game based on the Japanese tradition of visiting a new Shinto temple every year at the New Year. This year, the Japanese gods of luck, the Shichifukujin, have left their various treasures at 7 different locations around Japan, and your job as a tourist is to visit these 7 locations and gather each of the holy treasures. As you travel through the land, you will encounter different yokai, some of them that you need to defeat in combat, and some of them that will actually give you a blessing or curse to help you or hinder you on your travels. If you encounter one of the combat yokai, you have to take your Shintai cards, which are also your movement cards, and you need to use them to equal or defeat the number on the card. You start with a base of 1, and since this battle is in strength, you get a +3 from the Gohai and a +1 from the Shinjukyo. Together that gives you a score of 5, which means that you defeat the yokai, which means you keep him and save him for later. Each yokai that you defeat in combat has a Ryo score, which is gold, and you need those later when you go to the temples. Now, the way you travel around the land is by using those very same Shintai cards. You start each turn by drawing at least 4 cards, and you can use them either for movement or strength. However, if you play a card for movement, it means you won't be able to play it later for strength. You'll have to go ahead and use the rest of your cards instead. Once you get to the temple, you're able to trade in 4 Ryo worth of gold to equal 1 monster. If you were to trade in these 2 monsters, you have 5 Ryo. You can trade that in for 1 monster, but the gods do not give change. If you would reach the temple without enough yokai defeated to trade in, you have the option of going for a blessing, an omikuji, which will either send you on a mission or give you a boon or blessing for your next turn. Now, using a simple rolling the die, the blue gives you the water purification ritual, which means instead of trading in yokai, your goal is to go from one side of the coast to the other to collect water from both shores, and then return to the same temple and trade it in for the appropriate treasure for that location. It's possible to defeat the game by collecting only yokai, or also by only doing the missions. Once you've completed all 7 locations and collected all 7 treasures, your goal is to return to Toyama Bay where you started, and that's the end of your tour. The first player to make it there with all 7 treasures wins the game. Thank you.